Hello, everybody. Welcome to Big English Stand-Up. My name is Steve Foreman. I'm here with Evgeniy Chebatkov.
Hey, hi, Steve. Thank you for having me here. Yeah.
Good morning, everybody. I hope you're having a nice summer post-COVID and all that kind of stuff. I think I met the most boring man in the world yesterday.
Yesterday. Yeah. I think you're talking about today.
No, not yet. But, the day's just begun.
Yeah.
I met this guy, and he's kind of like, he's one of these people. He's like a black hole. He just sucks. If you meet me, I have a certain amount of energy and goodwill.
Yeah.
I have goodwill, and I have a certain amount of enthusiasm for you and everybody else in the whole world.
Yeah, that's why we love you.
Yeah. But this guy, you spent about half an hour with this guy, and he just sucks all the energy out of you. He's like a black hole. There's like a black hole in the middle of his chest, just sucking out all the good things, all the energy out of. And I don't know where this energy goes. It goes to another dimension, presumably, right?
Oh.
And it was just amazing. And I just noticed myself I did have a hangover, though. I was hungover, but that's by the by. It's not my first hangover. I've had those before. And I was sitting there just thinking, this is extraordinary. Because as comics, like when we go to a comedy club, we're trying to be the opposite, aren't we? We're trying to be the funniest person in the room.
Yeah, of course.
Not the most dour person in the room. I just thought that was so interesting.
This guy, he was a comedian?
No. Oh, God, no. No.
Mate, there's a type of comedy you just don't understand yet.
I'd like to see his act if that was the case. Yeah. But I remember him saying that, he had 3 kids and 2 grandkids already, and he's only 50.
Oh.
And I was like, wow, you've already got yourself a basketball team. That's awesome. All boys.
Wow.
And I thought, okay, so whatever. Come on, I'm judging this guy like he's a homely guy, he's a family guy. 3 kids, and then a little bit later he told me that the 3 kids are from 3 different wives.
Oh, my God.
And then I was just like, yeah, 2 of them at least I think probably just got bored of him as well, right? I mean, this is starting to make sense. It's amazing when someone says, I've got 3 kids. You think, oh, homely, family, okay, that's the kind of guy you are. And it's like 3 wives. He's on his 3rd wife, 3rd kid. I'm like, it's different. I don't want to judge. But it's suddenly very different. It's very kind of different.
Yeah, it's just like, it was like, yeah, and they all committed suicide. Because they got so bored. Wow.
I gotta tell you, would not surprise me.
Really?
It would not surprise me.
Oh.
And he had these glasses. He had a pair of those glasses that they make fun of, like glasses where his eyes are like much bigger than the rest of his face. So whenever he looks at you, like,
shit.
He had those, and I was and he had quite a thin head. He's got like this peanut-shaped head. And he just, it's just so bizarre. Makes you think, some people think it's okay to be this dour. I mean, Russians and dourness, there's a relationship there. But even so, this guy was something special. So I'll tell you what, I had an audition this week.
Wow.
So, I mean, I don't want to be an actor. I don't care about any of that stuff. But it was advertised. And I do want to keep these casting directors on side. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
Casting directors are people that you want to keep on side just because they are. That's just the way it goes. But I don't want to act. I'm not that interested. But I thought I'd go along. Let me tell you something. The director, right? She walks in. She goes, "Hi, I'm the director." she was so hot, right? Mm-hmm. I was just like, and then I had to do a scene with this actress. Mm-hmm. The director's hotter than the actress. That doesn't make any sense. Huh? I was like, what is going... She was
okay, now you and you direct all this.
Exactly. There was one moment.
But I don't have medication. Yeah, you don't need it. She's got it. Look at her.
Okay, watch and learn. No, but there was this moment where I was looking at her. They were filming. There was lights in my face and stuff. And I looked at her for a moment and I thought, if you're the director, does that mean you can just direct everybody else to just leave so it could just be kind of you and me?
Yeah.
Hey, there's something I wanted to ask you.
Yeah.
What's it called? Now, I'm still kind of fascinated by the phenomenon of the MILF. Okay? The MILF, which I think it started about 10 years ago. It's just that, the male population realized that they really liked looking at older women. And to this day, what annoys me about women sometimes is that they put so much emphasis on youth, right? Like staying young, being young, staying young. I was seeing this girl, she was about 25 and she was already talking about Botox and changes. And I was like, yo, you're only 25. What are you talking about? He goes, yeah, but I'm thinking ahead. I'm thinking in a few years' time I'm like, what are you talking about? You'll be 28. It seems to. So I keep trying to say to them, like, you guys, you put so much emphasis on youth. You think being a young woman is such a big deal. It's so attractive. What about the MILF phenomenon about 10 years ago? When the male population just went, no, I'm quite like to probably. And that is because I think that is because every single man had a fantasy about a friend of his mum's.
Oh.
Right?
Oh.
His mum had a friend who was quite attractive. And when you were a teenage boy, you were thinking, God, I wouldn't it be great if, after, like your voice is,
exactly, your voice is changing. Yeah.
It would be great if after one of those dinner parties,
can you imagine? I'm sorry. Can you imagine? That's the best. In fact, that's your voice is changing just because of those kind of thoughts, and
it's just the testosterone shooting through your body.
Oh, I like you.
But you think, wouldn't it be great if she led me into one of the bedrooms and showed me a few things? Because this is fascinating. Because if an affair with an older woman, it's sexual and nurture at the same time.
Yeah.
That's so powerful.
And it is so funny how our society works. When for example you hear a story about MILF woman, older woman and young boy, you think, well, those are lucky motherfuckers. And when
Give it up, everybody.
Yeah.
Give that man a cigar. Actually, I don't know if he's old enough to smoke a cigar. But if he is, give him a cigar. Look at that.
He just have to probably hold it, not smoking. Just a symbol. And at the same time, you know what I mean. You hear some story about the young lady and the very, very old man. Wow, you're just like, oh, what a pity little girl. And you, a monster.
It's true, isn't it?
Yeah.
You're a dirty old man.
Yeah.
It's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
But is that gonna change or?
That's I think all about feminism and their attitude. I mean, they want to do all equal and all attitude being equal, but here, that's the exact example how it's different. And I guess it's everywhere in the world. It's not about Russia. I think it's everywhere. I don't know. Maybe it's different in South London, but...
But you're absolutely right. Let's be clear. If you hear that there's a 40-year-old man fooling around with a 20-year-old girl, you think one thing. If you hear that there's a 20-year-old guy fooling around with a 40-year-old woman, I think we just expect women to...
Oh my God, I got one story.
Yeah.
Well, I have a friend, pretty close friend for a while. Now we're not in connection. He was a hockey player from my mother town, and he lived in Moscow. But in the same time, he lived in Moscow, and he spent like 3 months in a year in our town, Ust-Kamenogorsk. So you're just moving from Ust-Kamenogorsk to Moscow, Moscow to Ust-Kamenogorsk. And in each city, in Moscow and in Ust-Kamenogorsk, he had a girlfriend. And in Ust-Kamenogorsk, he was...
Hockey players, huh?
Yeah, he was 21 at the moment. In Ust-Kamenogorsk, he had a girlfriend, and she was 16.
Okay.
Yeah, 16. And in Moscow, his lady, she was something around 46.
Whoa!
Yeah, and that,
wow.
I mean, for me, it's not a problem here or here. It's not a problem for me. If they are fine, if you're cool. But for the funnies, that is in the same time. I mean, it's so different how you just deal with that. It's so different relations when it's 46 lady and when it's 16. You can't imagine. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah,
that's so different.
30 years difference.
How you just dealing with that? And like, oh, that's okay. It's pretty the same. It's
pretty the same.
Oh, yeah. In the end, they all.
Are you sure they weren't mother and daughter? Jesus Christ!
Oh damn, that's could be.
Well, he's a real. He's an innovator, isn't he? Wow. Wow. 46.
Yeah, and
that's fantastic. Good job.
That's just imagine that after them he had twins. After that, few Asian girls. After that, some midget. You know, nothing which is normal.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
I don't know what he's doing right now, by the way.
He was a good friend. You get back in touch. See, he's probably doing midget twins. Is probably what he's doing. Okay, I don't know. Amputees, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I think I'd like to know. I think I'd like to know what he's doing.
I gotta ask him. Yeah.
So one thing I noticed was I've been kind of flirting with this girl on text.
Yeah.
And I've come to the realization that her bad grammar, right, it's really turning me off. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just reading these messages and, like, I'm just thinking, where's the capital letter at the beginning of the sentence? You know? Where's the question mark? I'll show you later. Okay. She says one idea. She puts a full stop. Then she asks a question. Where's the question mark? So how do I know this is a question? Like, that laziness. So I got to tell you, the fact that she wasn't really listening in English class in school.
No.
It's really turning me off. Like, is that bad? I mean, I don't know, but it's a real turn off. Like, that you don't have the basic respect for the language that you're using, the system of communication.
But maybe you just wait a little bit. When she got 14, she'll understand how to do it right.
What do you think? I'm Brian Epstein? Jeffrey Epstein? Jesus Christ. Yeah, just Steve. At least wait until she finishes school.
She just don't know some stuff. That's okay. She just don't know it. Oh, you know those girls these days. They're just like,
yeah,
that's just the no.
They just communicate with emojis.
How to write.
Yeah. Another thing. How tall are you? 6 foot. You're 6 foot, aren't you? You're the same as me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm 6 foot. So I made it. You know, in Western culture, 6 foot is like, you know, it's a round number. Mm-hmm. Kind of a tall enough guy. 1.83 m, and so there's this whole thing. So basically, there's this. Was working for this rich guy. He sends a driver to me, right? Sends a driver in the big, beautiful Maybach. And this guy, he's really, he kind of, you know, he has to kind of give these microaggressions and show that he's a tough guy, right? Even though he's just drive. Mm-hmm. Bitch, you know, I just want to say to him, bitch, just drive the car, will you? You know what I mean? Less of the attitude and drive the son of a bitchin' car. Uh-huh. Anyway, but that's the way he is, and I'm just thinking, well, if that's how he wants to be, that's fine. Maybe he's ex-military. I find a lot of these ex-military people.
Yeah, a lot of them.
You know what I mean? They don't know what to do with all this aggression and this finely tuned training that they've been given.
Yeah,
they come back to civilian life and they don't really know how to implement it. You can't go around breaking people's necks anymore.
Yeah, because it's pretty far to Donbass in Syria.
Exactly. Anyway, so he's like shouting at other people, traffic drivers.
Oh, you know, man, I hate it so much.
Someone cuts it up. He rolls down the window and starts shouting at the other driver, like as if it could get to a crunch. And I'm just kind of sitting in the back, kind of going, all right. Yeah. And then, so I just thought, whatever, you know what I mean? Whatever, mate. You know, little. And then when we get out of the car, right? I open the door, he gets out, and he's about this tall compared to me. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's so funny.
And then I was just like,
yeah.
Oh,
I got it.
Right? And yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I know. What funny is, that's exactly that how you show. And that's the level of aggression. I mean, because he feels that he's just you know, just a little bit, I need just a little bit. But if he were like smaller and smaller like this, already, oh, that's okay. I don't have to be, you know, that I think when you are just little and small and you're not very tall. You just like, well, that's the way it is. Yeah. I just don't need to prove something. That's just the way how I gonna deal with this world. When you close to be a normal person, but you're not. I mean, in the way of size, you're just.
If only I had just a couple more inches.
Just a little bit.
Yeah. So there you go. I mean, the funny thing is, so I think in the West we call it the Napoleon complex, and certainly women I've spoken to, they bring it up. They mention it. They mention because all women want a tall guy. Yeah. I think for some reason.
Yeah, I don't know why.
I don't even know why. Why is that so important? Who cares?
I want him to be tall.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like why? What? So he can get things from he can fix the light bulb? What's the? There are stools.
I remember my mother had a friend, and she came to my mother and she was like, well, my husband, she just got drunk again. He's already alcoholic, and I don't love him. And we had a lot of problems, and our son, he sees all that, blah, blah, blah. And my mom was like, well, and that's just, he started to drink just a few years ago. She was like, no, when we met each other, it was already kind of alcoholic on the first stages. And my mom was like, so why you just chose him? And she was like, well, he's so tall. I'm sorry. Like, oh my God. Yeah, he's tall.
But we talk about the Napoleon complex, but do you think it's a real thing? How do you feel about it? Because apparently, the problem, I saw this thing, Stephen Fry saying that it's still known as the Napoleon complex because he was short and he conquered all of Europe.
Yeah.
But I remember Stephen Fry was saying that actually it was just more propaganda that he's a short ass, right? From the English or whoever. Actually, for that time, he was a perfectly average-sized man.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Wow. So that's just kind of really propaganda.
Yes.
In a comedy way, he's just like, look at this short guy.
Apparently so.
Wow. I never thought about it. Well, I don't know, but maybe that's somehow connected even in the political way also. Because I remember I saw some kind of statistic, and that was all American presidents and in demonstrating all their tallness.
Their height.
Yeah, they're
all short.
They all really high. I know president and leaders of Russia and Soviet Union. Definitely all smaller. I don't know. Only Peter the Great was really tall guy.
He was very tall.
Yeah, but others, most of them, they're much shorter than, for example, the American leader at the same time, at the same period. It was very fun. Lenin.
Yeah. Tiny.
Yes.
Lenin was a tiny guy.
Yeah. Small.
Hitler was small. So it's perpetuated.
Vladimir Putin. What?
Who? What? Hey man, I'm still in a visa process. Okay, no jokes until I get my visa. Okay?
Yeah. Of course.
But
I'm also a foreigner here.
It's perpetuated, and I have wondered. I do wonder about it. I do look at people, and I try and put myself in their position, and I just think it's quite an interesting thing. But I think if you're short, okay, put it this way: if you're a really big guy, really big and tough looking. It's actually your responsibility to tone yourself down and be even more gentlemanly. Otherwise, you're just going to scare everybody all of the time, right? And as your life goes on, you start to understand that. Have you ever noticed these huge, tall guys? They're always quite gentle because they know that if they just start putting, blocking out the light the whole time, it just ruins everything.
Yeah.
Usually. I think in the same way, these short dudes also need to calm down, basically, because they need to understand how they're coming across, which is kind of ridiculous. You know that image where you've got your arm out, or that you've got your arm out there, and he's got his head against your arm, and he's I'll kill you, that kind of thing. They need to know. I think they need to know when little people are angry, they look ridiculous. That's the point. That's the point I'm trying to make.
Yeah, and when some very tall guy has got angry, that's scary.
It is, yeah. Bayern Munich are about to win their 8th championship in a row. Juventus are on 7 or 8 championships in a row.
Yeah.
PSG are on their 6th or 7th out of 8. Okay. Yeah. And in Spain, it's a duopoly.
Yeah.
And when Atletico won it that time, that was some kind of miracle. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's the other clubs. We had the miracle of Leicester.
Yeah.
Just 4 years ago.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That was a miracle.
Yeah. That's amazing.
And that's what I'm saying about the English league. That's what I'm saying. That is absolutely impossible in those other leagues. Completely impossible.
Well, but I can't imagine a situation that Leicester could win in Russian Premier League.
Do you think? Jamie Vardy's on 23 goals.
Yeah, Jamie Vardy.
I love him.
Yeah, he's that type of guy. You just recognize him. You're just you're just the guy. I mean, you're just the guy who play football, who like just to play football.
He loves it. Yeah. The joy comes out of him. You can see he loves it. I totally agree with you.
Mm-hmm. Him or Hurricane?
I like watching Jamie Vardy. I just love watching the guy. Harry Kane's awesome. He can hit a penalty. Harry Kane. Have you seen it?
Yeah.
And I got to see it at the World Cup against Panama. He can hit that ball, dude.
Yeah.
Yo. He really can hit that ball. So, no, I think Vardy is so much fun to watch. So, I'm annoyed that Hodgson didn't give him a good run in the England team. He should have. You know, Jamie. I was saying to my friends the other night. Jamie Vardy is the real Rocky Balboa.
Oh yeah,
he's the real thing.
Yeah.
Because
a real story. It's just the story, movie story.
I think they've been talking about making the movie of his life because he was working in a factory just some years ago. For real.
Yeah.
And look at him now. He wins the league with Leicester City. Then he goes and plays in the Champions League, and then he goes and plays in the World Cup.
Yeah.
Are you what? He was literally an ordinary guy.
Yeah. It's just the story of a guy who works on a factory, just fall asleep.
Yeah. Jamie, wake up! Wake up!
No, woke up! Oh, Champions League! Oh, goddamn! You're drunk! You're drunk! No, I mean I'm a professional football player. We won league with Leicester. Oh, come on, Jamie! I told
you. You need to stay off the drink, buddy. Yeah, you're right. It is. It's wonderful. It gives all of us. It touches all of us. What happened, right?
Yeah.
There's hope. The impossible is possible. Do you remember? It was incredible.
Yeah, of course.
Everybody's kind of like looking at the league table and going like, are they going to win? Are you serious? There's all these clubs owned by Russian oligarchs and Middle Eastern royal family and God knows what. They got so much money. Well, one of the ways that COVID-19 affected me was that my back went.
Oh.
Yeah, so, probably sitting on the couch more than usual, like everybody else. And then I bought myself a bike just to try and get some kind of some exercise. And I was walking up the stairs with my bike. And as I walked into my flat, the Skype on my laptop was going boom, 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 right? And I kind of hurried and I turned and it's just like you see in the sketches, my back just went.
Oh, no.
And that's not a good sound unless you're cracking walnuts.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And I went and I finished my Skype call and this nagging pain. And then eventually it got to the point where I just could barely move. Right here. Mm-hmm. And I was just like walking and I immediately got an appointment with a medical center and I was walking down the street. And this is a true story. I was walking down the street and coming towards me was this woman who looked like she was about 80 or something like that. And I was walking like she was walking. She had a stick. She's old. She's like kind of hooked over like that. She's walking and I was walking in exactly the same way, really slowly. And for a second as she passed, I swear to God, she looked at me and went, "Are you taking the piss?" And I was like, "No, this is really how I walk." Like, I wasn't making fun of her. It was so painful. It's kind of traumatized me. But to be fair, I went to the medical center. The guy said, happens all the time. It happens all the time to people, especially like you're holding your child or whatever, and but it was like that. If you don't bend your knees, people, bend your knees when you lift things. I'm begging you. If you don't bend your knees, it's right here. Yeah. He said he's seen it many times before. He said, "Don't worry about it. Take these pills. It'll be okay." Whatever.
How do you feel now?
Fine. This was a long time ago, but just fascinating. Incapacitated, just couldn't move my body, couldn't put my socks on.
Oh, really?
How about that?
Wow.
I had to find a new way of putting my socks on because I couldn't even reach down there.
Okay.
Can you imagine?
What was the way?
I would take the sock, I would put it on the floor, right? And I'd be like trying to put my foot in it like that. And then just kind of like this. I couldn't put my socks on. I couldn't put my pants on. Incredible. Thanks, COVID-19. You really taught me a lot about myself. I'll tell you that.
Well, talking about back, I saw news today in taxi. I just read news about the guy who trying to do actually oral sex with himself.
Hey!
And
in a taxi?
No, not in a taxi. Yeah, that was my taxi driver. Nah.
Can you give me the number of the of that service?
And he tried somehow to make it, and he broke his back, and now he can't move. That's the story. And
where was this?
Somewhere in Russia, probably. But I mean,
Russians, they're innovators. You know what I mean? They're interested in
creative. Oh my God, Misha, how it's happened? Well, you better just make up your own story. Cause mine, you don't like it. You don't like mine, definitely.
Imagine it was that same woman from the story before, Why did you choose this guy? Why did you marry him? Because he was tall. Well,
yeah.
Not tall enough to...
Yeah, just to complete himself.
Yes. Incredible.
Horrible.
That was on the news today.
Yeah, some in some public.
But wait a minute.
Yeah.
How...
You want to know about technique? He try and do it. I don't know.
Oh, come on. We've all tried it. No, anyway. What's it called? I'm fascinated, yeah.
It's just typical snake technique.
He's sitting down? He's lying down? Is he standing up? I mean, okay, so, but this information, I'm just so interested in how this information got out to the public. So, his back goes... Somebody calls the ambulance. The ambulance come and say, "What's the matter, bro?" He says, I can't, my back went. Why, how? And he immediately told the medics that he was trying to complete himself.
I like it. Complete. Yeah.
And that information got out to the public, and they can't fix him. He's in a wheelchair now.
Yeah.
You're kidding?
No, that's what I read. Horrible, right?
Okay, so all you youngsters out there, if that's a project that you had planned for yourself,
because I imagine you were listening to our podcast in the way of trying to do oral sex with yourself, because that's the perfect Because our podcast is perfect for that, actually. Oh, Steve and Evgeniy again, my new try. Please don't do that.
Don't do it, kids. It's not worth it. Just find yourself a nice girl. Take her out. Treat her right. For goodness sake. Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, I love being an inhabitant of this planet. I really do. It's so much fun, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, God. Misha. Gianni Rodari was an Italian communist cartoonist. Mm-hmm. He was allowed inside the Soviet Union. Mm-hmm. And I only found one cartoon of his in English on YouTube. The others are either in Russian or in Italian. You can watch as many as you want.
Because the Russians and Italians are brothers forever.
I like what you said last week. It's so clever. I thought it was great. Russians are Italians after vodka.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Anyway, so the story starts, and all the good characters are vegetables. Right? There's a pumpkin and a tomato and a cucumber.
Yeah.
And all the bad characters are fruits. Mm-hmm. Okay? So the main evil family is the cherry family. Mm-hmm. Then there's a banana man and an orange and an apple. It's the vegetables against the fruits, right? And then it starts, these kind of communist.
Cipollino.
Yes, Cipollino.
Cipollino, yeah.
He was an onion.
Yeah, he's an onion.
You do know about Cipollino.
Of course, yeah. That's from my childhood. That's.
You did grow up with this stuff.
Of course, yeah.
Okay.
Cipollino.
So I watched Cipollino for the first time this week. That's the thing.
Oh.
And so there's all these communist undertones in the story of the cartoon, and
I remember kind of story that his dad or granddad, I can't remember, also onion. He had a small house he built by himself, and horrible bad oranges.
Yes,
just came to him, just like, get out of here, cause Mr. Lemon don't like you, and we got money and you got nothing. And he's like, oh, but I've got my comrades. That's not enough. They're like, no, your comrades, nothing, because we are the capitalists, and that's the idea that we gonna win. No, what about my comrades, my onion friends? We gonna do it, please.
We're gonna make a vegetable soup out of you.
No, please. We trying to make a fresh juice.
Yeah.
That's cool story.
I managed about 15 minutes, and then I just said, I can't watch this shit anymore. You know what I mean? I should have finished it, though.
For me, Cipollino is the book, first of all.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's the book my mom read to me when I was a small kid.
Really?
And after that, just saw cartoon. And I'll tell you the truth, definitely, when I was a kid, that's for sure. I had no any idea that is about some political.
Of course, well, that's
because it's for kids, and when you're a kid, you just don't see it, and when you grown up, man, you see it so obvious, and that's why I think you just think, wow, that's bullshit. But when you're a child, that's fun. That's vegetables and fruits, and that's so funny.
So they were trying to introduce the idea that the world is full of evil capitalists who will take everything you have.
And it's easy to understand, especially when you live in Russia. Vegetables are your friends because we've got them mostly.
Fruits
are
are
not,
evil
because we don't have them.
we have to import them from southern.
You know who is our enemy? Pineapple. What is pineapple? It's enemy. It's bad.
Hey, yo, man, why are you being racist against pineapples?
I wanna try it. Maybe. No, it's bad. It's your enemy. Here, potato. Try this. Potato is your friend.
It's an exotic fruit. Yeah. Dear, oh dear. Well, from watching Cipollino, I noticed it's not fun being an onion.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I really got that feeling I wouldn't want to be an onion in this world. It's tough.
Yeah,
you know?
it's very tough. This world is not for onions.
You
just have to accept that.
You know, from a creative point of view, I find these details interesting, and I'd be happy to read about this process. Mm-hmm. Why did he choose an onion? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Why is this guy the cherry or the tomato? Like, why? Why? Because this reminds me of one of our great writers is George Orwell, and he did Animal Farm.
Mm-hmm.
You familiar with that?
Yeah, I know.
Wonderful. I've read it about 3 times.
I love it.
So it started reminding me of Animal Farm. Now, if it's an allegory, of course it's an allegory, Animal Farm.
Yeah.
Then you start to think about why he chose the animals that he did, and it's all cool. It's beautifully done. It's just immaculate. In the same way, why the onion? Because he has layers. Because if you cut him, he will cry. You'll cry.
It makes you cry. I think that's the idea. If you're gonna hurt him, he makes you cry. And all your homies, no matter who they are.
And all your homies.
That's message for you, homeboy.
All your homies are gonna hurt, yo.
Yeah, and that's a message for your cherries, man. All your cherries, man. You know? Just makes me feel pain, and you're gonna feel pain. You're gonna cry, because that's all we got, man. That's all onion juice. That's all we got, man.
So the cherry, bright and beautiful on the outside, but with I don't know, man. Maybe I'm taking this too far. But I'm just saying, when I was watching it, I was just curious about why he chose the fruit and the vegetable that he did while he was creating this shit.
But I'm telling you serious, man. Cipollino is very, very famous in Soviet Union.
It is, yeah?
And it's still
good.
Still famous. Probably we've got...
But Vova Bukharov probably wouldn't know it.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, definitely. I have no doubts about it. Yeah. Probably the same level of popular, it's Carlson. You know Carlson's story?
Yeah.
And when I was in Stockholm, I was so surprised that people, they're like, yeah, we know it, but he's not national hero.
Right. Yes, exactly.
Yeah, we just know who he is. Yeah. And I think that's just because we had a wonderful cartoon adaptation, and that's why it's so everybody just loves it so much. But the book, Pepe, or I forgot this, the same author. Who she wrote Carlson, and she wrote a story about.
It's a she.
Yeah.
Okay.
Astrid Lindgren. Yeah.
Okay.
And the funny is that she was Nazis.
She was a Nazi.
Yeah, with her ideas. And people saw you like, oh, so it's wonderful stories. We love it so much. And she was like, oh, well, you like Carlson? I like Adolf Hitler. That's who I like. And people were like, come on, Carlson.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Disney was a real anti-Semite. He's a Nazi. Yeah. It's amazing the things that come out from all this shit you grow up with, you know? Cool. All right, we got to get out of here, man. Good to see you. Thanks for listening, everybody. Man. That was Big English Stand Up. Check in with us to subscribe to the YouTube channel, Big English Stand Up. We got clips for y'all. Hey, man, be good, be lucky. It's the best time to Be alive, everybody, even if it doesn't feel like it.
And don't try to complete yourself. It's not right.
Please don't.
Just don't write.
Please don't do that. Peace.